On today's show, we talk about the Lions and their near victory this weekend. We reviewed that new Zombieland trailer, Double Tap. We get into some brand new music, and we have a brand new top five. All that and more on today's show.
Jacob's research is awful. Picking dodgeball players, I'm picking the kids that can throw the ball.
I just blew LeBron. I don't care what team he's on.
Okay.
No, it's okay. They did a broadcast this morning. It had like one viewer. Good job, guys. That was me again.
Sure. Did we ever see a cover of Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time?
But this is the Lions we're talking about. So anything's possible. Kicker, long snapper. Nobody else matters, right there.
Not to me. Not to me. It's top five time.
Top five.
Today. Wow. Did you really say that Miss Congeniality is better than The Blind Side? I say she dressed like a hook. This is at a diner. Show some respect, show some class, and just don't be a bunch of dummies. See, I think there are other better gangster movies than Scarface. For God's sakes, look at your goddamn boots. For God's sakes, it's time to grow roots. Yeah, we're back with another episode of the AG Podcast. I'm Darren.
And I'm Jacob.
And we have a great show for you today. We have another kick-ass show. We have some great topics to discuss about. We have a brand new top five. Jake has a brand new garbage person of the week. So before we get all into that, let's talk sports. And Jake, let's talk those Detroit Lions and their almost win against the Kansas City Chiefs.
So sad. Sunday. So sad.
You know what? I was watching this game, and a couple things were going through my mind. One, I thought they.
Why am I watching this game?
Yeah, well, that came later. But one of them was like I liked how they were aggressive right off the start. They were throwing the ball downfield. They were kind of doing what Kansas City normally would do and push the ball downfield. But again, the Lions go Lion, and then when they need 7, they always settle for 3. It's those constant things that just irritates you as a fan when it's like 4th and 7 and you throw it 6 yards. I'm sorry, when it's 3rd and 7 and you throw it 6 yards. Little things like that, like being aggressive, and they're trying to be aggressive, but obviously it backfired on them. If it wasn't another complete the process rule that somehow the NFL makes up, and there's a rule for it, and I guess if the ball shifts but you still have possession, it's not a considered a catch. I don't know what is a catch these days, but let's take some positives away from this game. I thought Kerryon Johnson played one of his better games, aside from that crucial fumble on the goal line that led to that fumble return for a touchdown where everyone stopped playing.
That was embarrassing.
That was embarrassing. I'm like, do you hear a whistle? No? Okay, then the play's still going. And I know that they said a countless time that this refereeing crew was the same one that was in New Orleans last week, where they blew the whistle, and the play that led to a touchdown over there didn't count. But so all of a sudden you just make up your mind, and you can't call a game the same way 2 weeks in a row, and you just let the play going. The NFL has to get their shit together when it comes to refereeing and knowing what the rules are. You can't have rules set for 1 week and then you change them for the next week. What is this?
Well, this was a Lions game, and this happens to
Lions.
I
understand
games.
It's a Lions
all
game,
the big games,
and everyone loves to blame the referees. But if you like to blame the referees, then you're an idiot. The Lions' critical mistake, obviously, that the pass, the grab, the touchdown grab from Galladay that wasn't ruled a touchdown. Okay, so it didn't go away. He didn't complete the catch. Whatever. You know what you do? You take the very next play and you put it in the end zone. But what does Stafford do? Should I run? Should I not run? Fumble.
Yeah, that's what kills you.
Exactly. I'm like, how is this possible where you have all this momentum? You're doing what you want to their defense, which, to their credit, Kansas City does not have a good defense. And if you say that they do, I think you're smoking something because
No,
the
they
way
don't have a good
the
defense. They
way
really
that they
don't.
turn the ball over, give the Lions credit on defense for punching that ball out and causing fumbles. That's what you have to do to win games. Is you have to create turnovers, which they did. They just couldn't capitalize on the Chiefs' mistakes. And you go from that to the incomplete touchdown grab, to the fumble, to the carry on fumble on the 1 yard line, to the 4th and 8, where everyone is covered except Patrick Mahomes. He could run, and he had 20 yards of freedom to get that first down, which no one was around. I'm like, I understand you want to double team like Travis Kelsey and single coverage other guys, but someone has to keep an eye on that quarterback who is mobile.
Very, very mobile. That's his game, right?
Well, that's part of his game.
Yeah,
He's known for his arm strength, but he
yeah.
can still run. He was a baseball player for during his college
Yeah,
years.
he's a dual threat. You got to
He
keep an eye
is.
on him.
You have to think of him like a Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson type of quarterback.
Mhm.
So
Well,
obviously,
with that, what happened, Darren, is the Lions. The Lions lost the game. They didn't
yeah,
get beat
no,
because Kansas City
exactly,
didn't beat the Lions. The Lions lost the game. You gave the
exactly,
game away. You could have had that game. As much faith I didn't have in this team, they
right,
actually played pretty well, but they cost themselves the game
yeah,
with stupid mistakes, and
hmm
they know it. Now, the
yeah,
only way they can ever get this game back, and that stupid first game of the season, is
hmm
going out after the bye and beating Green Bay at Lambeau, which they've done already. They can do it again.
yeah, yeah. I
And
know.
looking at the last couple of games of the season in our division, holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chicago's defense looks good, but there's no offense there. And
no.
Minnesota, I don't know what the hell happened to Minnesota, but their defense is pretty good, but there's no
Oh,
zero
it's
offense there.
yeah.
So,
Oh, don't get me wrong. Minnesota and Chicago is definitely the top two defenses, not only in the division but in the league. But when it comes down to it, Chicago lost their quarterback Trubisky with a shoulder injury, so he's done. He's not done for the season, but he's going to be out for a while. But
yeah.
and then you have Minnesota, which obviously some reason it doesn't like to throw to its wide receivers. They're constantly
It's
running the
okay.
ball with Cook,
That's okay.
which don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
Cook is effective, but you have to mix it up, or defenses are gonna zone in on that they like to run the ball more times than not,
Well,
and
not
and
Detroit's defense. But
no, obviously, well, I like our defense compared to the run than some other
well,
defenses.
I like our defense too. Just steps up, not
Yeah,
consistently.
yeah, exactly. And you were talking about how these games, like let's take the last 2 weeks before the Kansas City game. They were lucky to beat LA. They're lucky to beat Philadelphia. You keep making these mistakes, teams are going to capitalize on them. You can't keep giving these teams who are professional athletes just like you can't be giving them all these chances to come back and win these games. You have to come up with a way to finish a game completely. Like put your foot on their necks and finish him, because you can't leave the window open or the door open for these teams to come back, because you saw it against LA, you saw it against Philadelphia, you saw it against Arizona, where you're up so big. But yeah, okay, you're up, but finish the team. You shouldn't be relaxing until you have like a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes to go. You
Well,
know?
Darren, here's my question for you then.
Yeah.
What would you rather have, Jalen Ramsey or
Yeah.
Antonio Brown?
Ugh. Uh, Defensively, because I think we need more help defensively, I would go Jalen Ramsey. He's younger, and I think you can get him where he understands where he just wants to win. Antonio Brown is just a mess. I wouldn't touch him at all.
But that's another quality receiver that you could
Yeah,
add
yeah,
to your
but
offense that
Jay,
needs it.
Jay,
I
Jay,
mean, I know he's a cancer. I understand. Trust me.
you don't want that. Listen, if he wasn't good enough to play for the Patriots, especially the way their history of like turning around troublemakers to make them a good quality player and a good teammate, there's something wrong with this guy.
Well, no, I just gave you a hypothetical. Pick
Oh
one.
yeah, I would take Jalen Ramsey. I would give a first round pick, whatever they want. For a stud like that, a young guy like
Now,
that.
now, not whatever they want.
But hey,
They want two
what?
first rounders.
Take
That's
them.
not gonna
Take them.
happen. No,
Well, just
no,
come
no.
on.
One first rounder next year, and maybe a third rounder the year after
L-
that.
Listen, Jake. Look on all the guys that the Lions missed out. They could have got Khalil Mack for like two first
Well,
round
that's because they're
picks.
fucking idiots. That would have been perfect.
That would have been,
Throw Khalil Mack in the defense you have now.
look what he did. It's with the Bears defense in his first year.
Yep.
He was a wrecking ball.
And he's still doing it this year. I watched the game this week.
He's unbelievable. Yeah, you right there. You can acquire a guy that will be a team leader you can plug him in the middle of that defense and make everyone else around him better. Same thing with Ramsey. A Pro Bowl cornerback. You pair him with Slay and brings up Slay's game because it doesn't give the respect that Slay deserves. Everyone calls him underrated. Some people call him overrated. But when it comes down to it, you have two elite level cornerbacks, two shutdown cornerbacks that would definitely help any team's playoff chances. Which, face it, Jake, they got to win 10 games to even make the playoffs. To win,
Oh, no question. No
just
question.
I'm talking about just to make the playoffs, not win the division, but to make the playoffs. That tie has really screwed them, especially if the Packers and the Bears keep winning. That tie is going to look bigger and bigger and bigger.
Not exactly.
Exactly. But when well, they're on a bye week this week, so that's good news. Get healthy, get some guys back. Hopefully Deshaun Hand can make a return. This guy, he has so much potential. He's so talented. If we can get him back, put him with Snacks and obviously Mike Daniels. Don't know how long he's going to be out, probably a few weeks. But like the injuries really piled up for them in this game. TJ Hawkinson going out with a
Well,
concussion.
that's because he's jumping over.
Oh
players.
my God! Yeah.
Idiot.
Okay. Big deal. Yeah. The fullback bought and did it over the Philadelphia guy last week. Doesn't mean it always going to end up that way. If they see you're gonna about to jump, you best be sure they're gonna try to flip you over like some WWE move.
Yeah.
It's
Take the yards. Don't do
yeah.
a jump. It's
Just put your shoulder into
bad
them
for you.
or
Exactly.
and just use your body. Like I appreciate that you got agility to jump over someone, but like that's
But I have a concussion.
that's a
and you're
perfect way to get a concussion. That's exactly what happened. I saw him as soon as he landed. I'm like, concussion. He's done. But like I saw a report yesterday that he's not on IR, so that's good news.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Him, Slay, Quandre Diggs. Quandre Diggs went out. During the game, so we were going against Kansas City with our second and third string defensive backs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I understand it's football. I understand people get hurt. And players get injured. It happens, but like, man, like talk about bad timing. So hopefully,
that's the game, man.
Exactly. So
You've been
hopefully they get together, they get healed up, they prepare. They have a nice long stretch before their next game, which is on Monday night in Green Bay. And hopefully Stafford's hip or back, whatever is aching him, can help him a little bit. Because if Stafford's not 100%, it's going to be a long season.
Exactly. Well, I'll be glued to my TV in 2 weeks, and we'll see what happens.
There you go. So that goes on with elsewhere in the NFL. There's only 3 undefeated teams left there, Jake. You got the Kansas City Chiefs. You got the New England Patriots, and the surprise, I think, the early on season surprise is San Francisco 49ers are undefeated.
Yeah. Well, they drafted well.
Yeah, they drafted well. I guess they have
players.
They have some key players. Obviously, a second-year head coach is kind of implementing his system more. So, and plus, when you have Garoppolo actually at quarterback and not injured, that also helps. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens next week. I think they're playing the Browns next Monday night. So of course, the Browns getting another prime time game because everyone loves the Browns.
That's right. Well, we'll
Uh,
see. It's an interesting season right now because it's all over
mhm.
the place. It's great. You have teams like Buffalo and Detroit
Yeah.
start off like nobody thought were going to start off, and
Hmm.
Cleveland's good but not playing up to their potential, and the Giants are playing decent.
Giants, Danny Dimes out there
Yeah,
just slinging it.
I was
The
watching the Jaguars game too. That's interesting.
Yeah, Carter, whatever his name is, Minshew.
Ninja,
Minshew
yeah,
or as other people might know him as Uncle Rico.
Puerto Rico, yeah. It's an interesting storyline, man. I can
Yeah,
see playing it out really
yeah,
well.
good for him.
Yeah.
Obviously Jacksonville, it, they're not known for offense over there, so yeah.
It's nice to see. It's
If
another
that could
story.
be a nice little fun story, it's good to see. Um, One of the things that I saw that came across otherwise in the NFL is that Oakland Raiders linebacker Vontez Burfict got suspended for the entire season for his blatant hit to the head on on one of the members. Who was Oakland playing this week? Uh,
Was it the Giants?
mm, no, I don't think it was the Giants. Anyways, it was one of those. Yeah, it was a helmet to helmet collision and knocked this poor kid out. And so Vontez uh, is now suspended for the entire season. Do you think that's too harsh of a suspension? And
Yeah, yeah. Of
now
course it
I
is.
know he's been suspended before in the past, so but he's not a
Yeah,
first time offender.
yeah. No, that's a little too much. Like in college, you have targeting, you have head-to-head contact.
Hmm.
You're out for the rest of the game. You're playing in the next game just to get your shit straight. So it's a little harsh. I gotta say. I know it's bad. You know, going for somebody's head, the whole concussion thing. It's bad, but overreaction. It's a long season. This is all these players have, and you really can't take somebody's game off like that. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of bad plays out there. It was
Right.
blatant, sure, but are they playing the Colts?
Yeah, I just saw it. He had Colts tight end Jack Doyle.
Yeah, it's a little much. Game two, max. It's
Re-
football.
you would
It's
give him
football.
2 games for that?
Maximum.
Wow.
Maybe we probably won, but if you want to be really strategic with it, much.
Wow.
But yeah, one
Well,
game for sure.
wow. Well, you know what? 1 game would be fine if he was a first-time offender, but this guy has been suspended constantly in the league. So obviously, there's that whole three-strike rule, but like obviously, if you saw the hit, and I caution you, if you do not like to see, bad hits, do not look at this. But if you saw the hit, it for me personally, maybe not full season, but at least like 10 games or 8 to 10 games for him.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Well,
Like I said,
Jake, you
it
know what?
happens.
They're trying to take that hit out of the game. So for someone to do that, and it looked very intentional too. It's
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's again, it's football. It's gonna happen.
I
Injuries are going to
understand it's
happen. Head
football,
to head.
but this hit was like he had enough time where he could have laid his shoulder into him, but no, he went head first right into this guy's head. Like there's no need for that hit.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, I'd give him maximum 2 games, fine him hundreds of $1,000s or whatever,
Mhm.
and give him that. Hit him where it hurts. Hurts to make him money.
There
Yeah,
you
it can
go.
suspend him for the rest of the season, but he's still gonna play.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, from NFL to let's talk let's talk some good news and let's talk some good baseball news. The
it's
Tiger
over.
season is finally over. It's done.
Yeah, good. And
It's
so is this conversation about
we
the Tigers.
don't have to hear from them anymore
Good.
for the rest of the year. They had a miserable, and I mean a miserable season this year. losing, I think, the second most games by a Tiger team, 114 this year.
Awful.
It's awful. But the bright side, if we look at the bright side, they secured the first overall pick in next year's MLB entry draft.
Perfect. I think they have one more year
Shittiness.
of shittiness in them, and then they have an amazing cap room, salary. Well, there's no cap, but
Mhm.
like they're gonna go down to like bottom 5 salary wise in the
Right.
entire league. So it'll be great. They'll have enough room to build the next couple of years, and then once they're good, spend some money. I think they're gonna go down to like 40 or 50 million by like the season after next.
Yeah,
So
I
it'll be
think you're
amazing.
gonna see them like contend for big name free agents, not next year, but the year after. In that
Hmm.
off season, you'll see them throw out some big money. Hopefully, get a stud bat in there to help out with this young team.
Exactly.
I think because pitching wise, they have some great names in the minors that, yeah, I'm talking about like top tier caliber arms
Hmm.
coming up. So hopefully, things will be there'll be some happier times on the horizons for the Tigers.
Yeah, probably
Uh,
by ADG Podcast's 5th season, we'll talk Tigers
we'll,
again.
the Tigers contending for a playoff spot.
Yeah,
There you go.
at least winning the
Uh,
Central, that would be great.
there you go. Will actually be actually fun to watch baseball and talk about it again.
One
Um,
day.
one day. Uh, from the Tigers, let's talk to my one of my favorite sports. Hockey is back. Hockey, the NHL season starts this week. On Wednesday, all the teams kick off. Toronto takes on Ottawa. Detroit, I think they played Dallas their first game of the season. So a lot of interesting NHL storylines to follow. Obviously, the Leafs, the Leafs are in contention again.
You got your
To
dog excited about
but yeah,
Leafs now.
she's so excited she
It's
just can't
over.
contain herself. That's
You know what?
exactly
Somebody had to be. There you go.
exactly right. So Leafs started against the Ottawa Senators on Wednesday. The Wings, I believe they don't play till Friday or Saturday. Yes, the 6th is when I'm sorry, they play Sunday. They open up on Sunday against at home against the Dallas Stars. So, it's going to be for the Wings, first season under the prodigal son, Steve Eisman is back. So all those Red Wings slappies are excited that Stevie Y is back at the helm and back in Detroit. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, St. Louis Blues, kick off their reign to start to defend their Stanley Cup championship. Uh, we'll do our best to keep you informed on how the Wings are doing, how the Leafs are doing, and if you have any football shit, hockey related questions, let us know, and we'll talk
Yeah,
about that.
Let Darren know.
Yes, I know, because I know Jake. He could care less about hockey.
until the Wings are in the playoffs, I don't care about
Oh,
hockey.
jeez,
Wings are in
there
the
we go.
playoffs. I'm watching all the games,
Look at him.
all the game 7
He's a
losses.
slappy. He's a slappy. He's a
Yeah,
bandwagon slappy.
yeah. You
That's
know
the
what?
worst.
That's the sport I am a bandwagon slappy for.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
Wings in the playoffs. Jacob's watching on TV.
You know what?
Wings not in the
Yeah.
playoffs. What hockey? Hockey?
Yeah,
Uh, that,
like Jake's like, why are they playing these games that don't mean anything? Yeah.
that's right.
Uh,
Where's my puck going across the screen? I want
there
that.
you go. That's the
I want to know
Fox
where the puck
tracker.
is.
The Fox tracker.
I need
Yes,
that back.
exactly. The glowing puck. Yeah,
Yeah, great.
because you know why? Because Americans couldn't follow a black puck on white ice.
Hell yeah. Those HDTVs had to come into play here.
So, Jake, like
Uh,
so your excitement for, I'm sorry, your lack of excitement for hockey is kind of like when you talk about soccer, and I'm like,
oh,
uh
you
huh,
love soccer.
uh huh.
You says
Hey,
the guy who watched women's soccer all summer.
it was the Women's World Cup,
Exactly.
and plus it was the Italian team.
There
So
you go. That's
if
right.
it's only the Italian team that you're talking about, oh, I'm all ears. But
Uh,
normally when you go off about your Polish team and your German teams, I'm like, Yeah. Schnitzel. Yeah, bratwurst. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not anytime soon.
Not
Taking a
anytime
break from that.
soon.
No. Concentrating on local soccer because that's taking up my entire weekends,
I
every
was gonna
weekend.
say, I'm like texting you like during the games, like, yeah,
Not
no,
available.
I'm at soccer practice. I'm like, of course you're at soccer practice. Where else would you
Yeah.
be on a Sunday?
Yeah, games every weekend. Many
Wow,
games. Me yelling in the sidelines. That's
dedicated soccer dad over
losing
here.
my voice.
Just a dedicated side. It's like, open up your space. Look out for your space.
Right.
Look out for the open man.
Right. No, that's my weekend. And thank God it's like half indoors, half outdoors in Michigan because of the crappy weather.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all into it. That's my weekends. Like I don't get up like, oh, what am I gonna do this weekend? I'm gonna go mow the lawn.
There
No,
you go.
that
Yeah.
happens middle of the week, and I rush
There
that
you
shit
go. You
because
you
weekends are for
you
soccer.
you have you have your honeydew you have your honeydew list right there, right?
Hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
squeeze that in between actual work.
there you go. So let me ask you, because you coach soccer, you're a soccer dad, and I know people that are coach soccer as well. Do you find the competition in Michigan and states wise on a higher level than around here?
Ooh, I feel like I'm getting interviewed. Well, Darren.
Just a question.
Oh man, yeah, it's way better over there. The
Yeah.
options are better over there. The multitude of teams over there is insane. The different tiers of soccer are insane because you have different levels for different age groups. The numbers of teams by region, it's just insane. Here, we're limited to the county, and even up to London or Toronto, you're limited up to how many teams you got. There, you
Mm.
have like quadruple the number of clubs, quadruple the number of teams per club. It's insanity. Like my kid is on a team that has that is in a club that has 4 or 5 different teams in their own age division in different levels. So it's a giant club. So it's you're playing competition at a high level that you want to choose to play, and there's you don't get these blowouts like you're playing house league or even competitive here. It's just like very competitive. You're always in there. It's intense. And then I'm gonna say, oh yeah, it's not the World Cup. Let the kids play. Okay, no, well, it's a learning atmosphere, and if you don't play up to your competition level, you're not learning.
Right. You get that's the whole thing. Playing against good competition makes you better. Right?
Mm-hmm. 100%. But yeah, I yell.
I know you do. You're just a passionate dad. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that for sports wise, I think
Oh,
that's it for me.
sports.
Unless you got anything else to add.
No, that's good for sports. I think you have a top 5 this week though.
I do have a top five, and and it kind of goes hand in hand with our movie review.
Perfect, because let's do that after.
Yes. So if we look at this movie,
You're muffling. You're muffling. You're
oh,
good.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So if we look at this top five kind of fits the theme of our movie review. It's the top five zombie movies.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's my favorite horror genre.
exactly. So I
Yeah, it
figure
is.
so, and so this is a list from Esquire.com.
Oh, Jesus.
I
I thought it was going to
know.
be your list. Come
No,
on.
no.
Step up, Darren.
No.
Step it up.
Honestly, I have only seen like one of the top 10. So
Oh
for
my
those
God.
of you who are zombie movie buff and aficionado, you can see if you agree with this list.
Well, if
Number
you have hate mail for Darren, it's
There
adgpodcast
you
at
go. That's
gmail.com.
right. Exactly. So number five, it's this one's a little off the grid, but I can see why when you come to the explanation is Frankenstein. Now, here's a fact: Frankenstein is generally excluded from the conversation about zombie genre. But here's another fact: without Mary Shelley's original novel and James Whale's horror masterpiece that introduced the world to Boris Karloff, lumbering and reluctant monster, we may very well not have any of the iconic movies and the reanimated undead also almost a century later, this one still holds up. So there you
Huh.
go.
Well,
Frankenstein.
if you heard that ding in the background, that's Darren getting hate mail already.
Oh, it's already started. Number
Oh
four,
man.
number four, Dawn of the Dead.
Mhm.
That's Dawn.
Original or remake?
This one doesn't give me a year, but I think it's the original from the photo that's given me.
Hmm.
Dawn of the Dead. There you go. Number three is 28 Days Later.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, Danny Boyle's turbocharged thriller begins with Cillian Murphy wakes up fully naked on a hospital bed a month after virus had infected humanity, leaving London a ghost town. So there you go, and
That's
he
a good
has
one.
to survive. So number two, we said Dawn of the Dead earlier. Shaun of the Dead comes in at number two.
Yes.
I saw
Great
this.
movie.
I've seen this movie, and it's pretty funny. It pretty much has the humor and the horror work perfectly hand in hand. And at number one, you have to go the original here. Night of the Living Dead comes
My
in at
favorite
number
movie
one.
right there.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice, Darren. Got that.
Yes.
Only a little bit of hate mail. And
Oh, yeah.
to add to that a little bit, I
Mm-hmm.
just saw, since I'm a huge zombie movie fan, I just saw Anne and the Apocalypse. It's on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a zombie movie, but it's a mix between like Hairspray the musical and Night of the Living Dead. It's
Okay.
hilarious. I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix, and in the Apocalypse, and it's also a British movie, and it's funny, has its moments, um, drags a little bit too long, but it's a really good movie. I found it very entertaining, and it's something different in the zombie genre because that's what we got. Good job, Darren.
Thank you.
Cool. So let's go into our movie trailer review.
Movie.
So this week we're doing Zombieland Double Tap. So you saw obviously the original Zombieland, Darren.
I did, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. What do you think of the trailer?
The trailer looks fun. It's always good to see all the original cast back from the first one. I really think that they have a built-in audience that will go see this movie. I love Emma Stone. Anything she does, I think she just knocks it out of the park. I think she is one of Hollywood's most gifted actresses. Um, and who doesn't love good old Woody Harrelson? I think as he gets older, uh, he gets a little bit more and more involved in the roles that he chooses. I think he really is open minded to a lot of different roles that he picks. Like he can be a serious dramatic actor in a movie, or he can be a silly gun wielding zombie killing killer in another. So obviously with him, along with Jesse Eisenberg, um, it looks like it's going to be you know probably not as successful as the first one, but I think it'll be a fun movie for people to enjoy.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far on this trailer as you.
Uh,
I like the first one. It
yeah.
was great. It was funny. It was a cool concept. I really really liked it. Second one, it looks too goofy for me. It looks like it's just gonna be so much of spray and pray, stupid jokes, way over the top. Uh, second, movie in this thing. It's just I don't know. The trailer goes over the top in itself with all the gun violence, explosions. They preview new characters, which is like, oh my god, like oh now they're gonna find somebody that does the same thing, similar characters. I think that's gonna get boring quick when you have was that Owen Wilson in there? Was that
Yeah,
little
Owen
Owen Wilson?
Wilson and
Yeah,
Thomas Middleditch shows up.
right.
in
Yeah,
this
It's
trailer.
just redundancy
But
on their point. Like,
but you understand, sequel. You always got to sprinkle in a couple new characters in
oh
there
yeah,
just
no,
to
no,
keep things
exactly.
interesting. You know.
But I think that the idea of what they're doing is gonna get old really fast. With like, oh look, they're similar. Oh look, they do the same shit. Oh my god, okay. And then just a whole zombie thing. It's just, the
Hmm.
zombie's gonna play like third fiddle to the actual movie, where they played like second fiddle in the first movie.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
It,
kind of get away from the whole zombie land thing. It's just gonna be
right.
like, oh, zombies shoot, explode, and then it's like, oh, there's a storyline on top of another storyline in this movie, and I don't know. But I think I'll give this movie out of 5. I'll give it 2 out of 5. I'm definitely not gonna go see it at a theater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna waste my money on it. But when it comes out streaming, I will definitely see it because I want to see what this is all about. But from the trailer itself, yeah, I'll give it 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. All right. I'll just go one up. I'll go 3 out of 5 on this trailer. I like that it's more fun based than jury and like serious, because when you have these caliber of actors in it, you know it's like that built-in humor that improv humor is kind of already built into that cast. Obviously, adding like an Owen Wilson, sorry, a Luke Wilson, um, and a Thomas Middleditch just adds to the comedic value of this movie. So I think it'll be a fun movie to watch. Obviously, coming out around Halloween. Actually, it comes out the day before my birthday, so who knows? Maybe that's what I'll do on my birthday.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's
There's your birthday movie.
yeah, oh, lucky me.
All right, there we go. There's our Zombieland Double Tap trailer review.
Exactly.
All right, so let's make a little swerve. Let's talk movies. Let's talk music this week. And actually, the person we've got on this on our music break today, I had to go back and into our promos and actually find it because I know I had this song, but I had to email our promo company. I'm like, oh my god, I can't find it. Please send it to me again. It's been so long because I really like this artist, and especially they're from Toronto. His name is Erich Mrak, Mrak, and he's from Toronto, and he has a really cool song that came out earlier this year that I really, really liked. It's called "Fake It," and it's I don't you can't really. It's in his album that came out earlier this year, and his untitled EP that came out earlier this year. There's a whole bunch of singles for it that you can find on his YouTube page, and I wanted to play it on the show because I really, really liked it. And while I got that, he actually has another album coming out still later this year, or actually soon. He just released a single. It's called City Lights that you guys can see. We're going to share it. But the song from earlier this year, Fake It, is what we're going to play on the show today. So it's kind of different because it's not like your typical standard radio, hip hop, or whatever, new age. It's more of pop, experimental, hip hop, electronic type of stuff. Really different, really cool. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's something different you're not used to because we don't have really good music on the radio, and anything locally just here sucks. So had to go to Toronto, and again, awesome artists, just like Erich Mrak here. We're gonna play "Fake It" right now.
Close to the edge of my seat, like the edge is a cliff as I dangle my feet. I'm thinking of falling, but it's not what I need. Try to come back to center, take a minute to breathe. I'm lost in the night, speakers there on repeat. Don't care where I do, it depends where I've been. Swear as much for the whole room, 'cause I've been thinking about you. Here today, tomorrow I might not make it. And when I wait, the more I'm gonna fake it. Here today, the more I might not make it. And when I wait, the more I'm gonna fake it. I'm close to the edge 'cause I'm far from my goals. With scars to my friends, but the star that they know. I'm small with the feelings I'm in. When healing myself right now doesn't make sense. Trying to stay on my toes, but every time I reflect I feel I'm breaking my bones. 'Cause I choose to stay, every night has its moments, but I pay the price because my time is stolen. Here today, tomorrow I might not make it. And when I wait, the more I'm gonna fake it. Here today, the more I might not make it. And when I wait, the more I'm gonna fake it.
All right, so that was Fake It by Erich Mrak. I'm going to share that on our Instagram page. Go follow him. Awesome music, more new music coming out. I'm going to share this on our Facebook page. Just YouTube or Instagram him, and you'll see all of this new music coming out. There's that. There's our music for the week.
There you go. So
right.
there you go. I always like that we always have brand new music every week.
Oh, it never stops.
That's
And
it.
again, if there's anybody that wants their music featured on the show and you want us to play it and talk about it, send it to us. We get a whole bunch of independent artists sending us stuff, and if I really like something, I'll go back and find it and play it as early as I can. But there's an order. You have something you want us to listen to, send it, adgpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know on Instagram and add us up, and we'll share the shit out of it.
There you go. Jake, before we get into your stories, I found this story that was on the news the other day.
Let's do it.
I thought was pretty funny. For those of you who don't know, in Detroit, there's a billboard. There's an electronic billboard where.
Okay, I know this story. Yeah, go ahead.
You know the story? So, an adult video was playing on a digital billboard along I-75 north between University Drive and M59 in Auburn Hills, Michigan, just before midnight late Saturday. And it was causing quite a scene and almost a few accidents when people were spotting this adult content being broadcast while people are trying to drive. And it's quite something. A witness who spotted it reported it around 10:30. Police were informed about the pornographic display, and the video was taken down when the billboard company discovered the issue. So,
well, come on, people are acting like they've never seen porn before.
I understand that, but if you're in a car with kids.
At 10:30 at night or midnight.
Well, on the weekend too, it's
That's
possible,
funny.
right? Or but talk about a way that could cause an accident, and
that's some good advertising right there.
For what? I don't know.
Whatever.
Oh, geez.
Soap. I don't know.
Soap. Okay.
Billboard on 75 North.
So they're still researching to figure out how the porno was broadcast on the billboard.
Yeah, some streaming lines were crossed there.
Yeah, something, or people, or there could be someone that is very good at hacking. Can hack into it. Obviously, because you're not expecting to see that kind of content on a traffic or a billboard sign.
Well, Darren, who actually pays attention to some of those billboards when you're driving?
Well, I'm just saying the electronic ones that show video, those are more eye-catching than just your static photos.
Okay. But who watches the billboards while they're driving? Like, I'm focusing, especially in Michigan, I drive a lot.
Jake,
I drive.
I'm saying when you're in traffic and you're not going that far, you're not moving that fast, yeah, you look around and there's something to look at. And obviously that'd be something to look at. It's like, oh, traffic's moving, I better go.
Yeah. Oh, look, McDonald's next
McDonald's,
exit. Look like there's gonna be a Home Depot over there. Look, there's some porn. Like, next exit.
So there you go. So that story, like, yeah, it went everywhere. It was from radio to, there was even a story on CBC News Windsor about it.
Oh, yeah, well, they don't have much to talk about.
Exactly. Yes, it's like if it's not a a burning building or trouble with the lake in Harrow.
Yeah, or like some heroin addict needles on the streets of Windsor, whatever.
Some methadone clinic going up. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Slow day.
Slow news day, I guess. Hey, you got to get content out somehow.
Oh yeah, content. Let's talk about content.
All
right.
All right.
I got a story for you.
Okay.
There's a company in Singapore that's actually it's a German startup, and is trying to create like a electric helicopter. So it looks like it's a giant drone attached to the top of a helicopter. It has like 30 blades or 20 blades on top, little ones. So they're trying to make an electric helicopter. Now, it's called a velocicopter. It's weird. So they're trying to get that done in the next year or so. Now, I don't know if it's a good idea. Electric helicopter, because I know it requires a lot of force. For anybody that's ever had a drone or used a drone, like the battery is gonna have to be huge, or you can't go giant distances. So it's gonna be really short flights on this thing. But I looking at the picture of it, it looks weird for one, because it's a giant circle on top of a helicopter body. It's a giant sphere with like 10 to 15 little helicopter blades attached to it. It's like a huge drone. But I don't know. I'm questioning the idea of this. And I know we want to go all green and shit, but I don't know if this would be, if I want to be in one of those things when the battery goes, it gets kind of cold, the battery goes poop, and then you're falling to the ground. I don't know. What do you think of a velocicopter? Would you take one?
You know what? I think if it's tested and it's safe, yeah, I would like to try just to experience the difference between that and a regular helicopter. Obviously, everything is going green these days with cars and everything. So this is like one step closer to electric powered planes.
Right. Well, I don't know if that's a lot of. I don't know. But it looks like I'm reading more into this. They're looking to have this implemented in the next 5 to 10 years, with only room for only one per passenger, because one has to be a pilot, and they eventually transition to a fully. I don't think I want to go on those things without a pilot. So yeah, I'm just gonna delete this story, because I'm not flying in a giant helicopter in the sky with no pilot. No, thank you. That's ridiculous. Wow. Okay, let's go to another ridiculous, a little creepy story before we go and move on to anything else. There's a Russian company that's starting mass production of humanoid robots that look like people. They will make one that looks like you. I'm not kidding. This is something that just came out. They're literally creating humanoid robots, skin and all, hair, that mimics human expression. And right now what they're doing is they're adding like 100,000 speech modules to the AI system and 600 facial expressions, so it can mimic like humans. So they're making about 10 companion robots a month right now. You want a robot of Darren?
I don't know how useful it would be. Um, I don't know if you ever played the game called Detroit Become Human.
No.
It's or heard of it. Basically, it takes place in a futuristic Detroit where there's humans and androids live together, and but they're pretty much androids are the slaves of the humans until the androids like had enough and they decided they want to uh, be known as actually like to have their lives mean
Mm.
have their lives matter. And so it's a big thing. It's kind of like those choose your own adventures kind of game, so you kind
Oh,
of have
okay.
to like pick your own ending.
Sounds like the Blade Runner movies.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So do I think it's a great idea? Sure. Like am I afraid of these robots turning against us and making us their slaves? Yes. But but it's interesting to see what would happen. Maybe we start out with one and to see where it goes from there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm looking at this news story. They have pictures of these things, and they look creepy as hell. Because they're really close to making them very, very lifelike. Like I said, they
Hmm.
have a computer screen in their chest, but the, it's just scary. I don't know. I think it's going a little bit too far. I know they want to use some of these in like workplaces or
Right.
um, entrances to different
What,
things and
what,
attractions and stuff. But
yeah. Where is this located? Where are they doing this?
this is Russia.
In Russia. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it was like somewhere in Japan or China, I think they would be a little bit more advanced. I don't know
Well,
how
go
advanced
check
a
out
Russian,
promobot.ai.
yeah,
Promobot on Insta.
yeah.
You'll see that they're like very lifelike. It's scaring the shit out of me looking at these things.
Sure, Jake. Let me ask you this, because we're on that trend to like Android becoming more and more of a reality in every home and
Yeah.
business these days. Because you look at like the Alexa or the Google Home, right? And that's basically a virtual assistant,
Yep.
right? Where you tell, oh, turn Alexa, turn on my lights, or Google play music, or
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
it's all this stuff. So
Hmm.
like it wouldn't be that crazy if there was just like someone there, always let's say if your kids need to go to soccer practice and you weren't there or you're stuck in traffic, this android would drive your car or a car and take your kids to soccer practice. Would that be weirded out by you or?
Oh, absolutely. I don't trust people driving on the streets. I'm not gonna trust a robot driving in the street. It's like going back to the Alexa thing and the stuff in the house, like Google Play and shit like that. I don't have any of that. I don't believe any of that. That's to connecting too many things to one control, like
Yeah,
connecting your Google account to everything in your house,
yeah,
your lights, your alarms, your everything else. No, I'm not all for that. And giving that much responsibility to AI, I'm not down with. And if anybody has Alexa, just tell them, hey, you Google go to YouTube and play Jacob. But anyway, cheap up. But having, let's say, a robot
hmm.
do things for you, you're asking them to use judgment.
Well,
That's I.
that's the whole thing. They would be programmed, and the more that they interact with the person, the smarter they get, or the more that they know your habits, right?
Right,
So
exactly, exactly.
I'm looking at this like, let's say if there is an elderly person that lives by themselves, they would use this as like a companion, keep them company, and
Buy a dog.
yeah, but dog wouldn't take care of you. This is what I'm saying.
Right. Well, I like giving people jobs, so I would hire a nurse instead of a robot. I like people making decisions, not robot deciding what's best for a human. But that's just me. No, I'm very anti overdevelopment of AI, of any type of artificial intelligent decision making, because
As we all know, that story from like 5 years ago, when they developed one of the first AIs was able to make and decide on its own, it automatically went into destroying the humankind as an answer. So yeah, no, I'm not for that.
Well, we'll
That's the
see.
stories I had.
Jake is not a fan of robots.
No, not at all.
Well, I was saying, like, what about if it was the robot from Rocky IV?
Oh my god.
Like I'm talking about those classic 80s movies
I love
robots,
80s movies.
you know?
Love it.
Like Johnny Five.
Yeah.
You don't know that one?
Oh man, I know them. It's ridiculousness. And like, can you like the ideas they had in the 80s and early 90s on what robots were gonna be like? Like it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just can you imagine like if what they were thinking back? This is what it's gonna look like.
Exactly.
And then we're like 30, 40 years down the road, and it's like no, we're not even close.
I was gonna say, yeah, like they thought it was gonna be an actual robot, you know, with arms and legs and moving and walking and talking, to a little like pod or a little
hockey puck
that you speak to it and it talks back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like how far, like it's not real. Like, do you remember the movie Her?
Yes, I actually with Joaquin Phoenix. Yes,
Yeah,
that was a good movie.
That was a good movie, right?
Yeah,
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, what about if like where we do see people having full blown relationships with an operating system? You know, something you put in your ear that's constantly there talking to you, and you're just talking to it. And so you basically have people walking around talking to themselves, but they're talking to their operating system.
That's true. No, there
You
are
know?
apps out there. There are apps out there that will when downloaded the app will talk to you, and the more you tell it, the more it's going to react to what you're saying, and it can be your personal best friend without actually being human. I think that's fucked up, but make some friends. But anyway, yeah, no, that's
well, for those
that movie was good.
For those who don't, who have trouble making friends, I guess this would be a good stepping stone to doing that.
Well, call us, message us. We'll talk to you on the HG
we'll
podcast.
Be your friends.
We'll be your friends.
There you go.
Yeah, reach out. Get you on the show. We'll talk.
Yeah.
No, that's again. Yeah, you're right. That was a good example of a movie because there is people that would probably do that to their AI system right now, especially at home, and it's getting more advanced. But yeah, there you go.
Exactly. So just one more thing I want to add. I had a friend got busted for a distracted driving ticket.
Nice.
So, and I believe I don't think she'll I don't think she would mind telling me telling our listeners about this because she doesn't listen to the podcast anyways. So so she got busted for distracted driving, and I says like, well, first thing is because she's a woman. I'm like, well, did you flirt to try to get it out to get out of the ticket?
Oh, right? There.
What? Come on. Yeah, so some girls have more powers than others, right?
No comment.
Oh, come on. So
not digging myself into that hole.
Oh, come on. I'm sure.
That's all you.
Yeah. I'm sure if it was a female cop there, Jake, I'm sure you would turn on the old charm, right?
Hell no, that's the worst tickets I've ever gotten.
I'm getting a ticket just for that. All right, so I asked her like, well, how much was the ticket? She replied, $650.
Oh my god.
3 points.
Oh.
And a 3-day suspension and a criminal record.
What did she do?
She was distracted driving.
What did she do with her phone?
On her phone.
Oh, like texting?
Yeah.
I don't feel bad.
I was gonna say what, but then she says like, I'm gonna fight it though. I'm like, yeah, you better.
Good luck.
Yeah, but I know that law enforcement is really cracking down on it.
Well, yeah, that's good because that's
it's like drunk driving, distracted driving, and there's a lot of people on their phones texting and driving. You know how much time you don't focus on the road as soon as you text one word?
Oh,
That's
I know.
that's a long time. That's a lot of road covered without you looking at where you're going. You could what at that point? What if you hit somebody and then you cost somebody's life just because you have to look at your phone? You know?
Exactly. Now, I know a lot of cars these days have like those hands-free texting where they'll read your text message to you.
Yeah. Are you that important that you have to text while driving? You can't like have the
It-
10, 15 minutes going somewhere where you can like
it-
fuck my
ex-
phone. I'm just gonna drive.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's like a 5-minute trip, yeah, you can do without your phone for 5 minutes. But
You
if
can
it's a
do
long,
without your phone for 20 minutes. Like calm the
okay,
fuck down.
okay,
Call
but
people.
yeah,
Call
but
people.
okay,
Hands free.
yeah, yeah, hands free. That's fine if you want to do that. But yeah, I think a lot of people, I see a lot of people still do it, and I think it was a couple weeks ago. I was at a red light. I was stopped, and my phone went off. It wasn't on me, so I just look over because I get the notifications on my screen when something comes up. I was at a red light. I was stopped. I looked over, and then I look back, and then I hear like a tapping on my window, but like I heard something, so I look up. It was a woman like waving to me, and she points back. She's like, "There's a cop back there." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Hey, well, thanks for the heads up." Even though the phone wasn't in my hands.
Yeah, it has to. If they can give you a ticket for the phone, I think just being out in your reach and it's
Yeah,
visible.
yeah.
So, nah, whatever.
So like, what are we supposed to do? Throw it in the back seat and
Well, no, I have a charge. When it's in my car, you have it charging, so I don't have to look at it. And I get messages on my screen if anybody
yeah,
calls or whatever.
right.
But yeah, no, I can do without looking at my phone. Plus, I can enjoy some good music that
Yeah.
by the artists that we play while I'm driving. So I don't have to be. I can get a break from actual people or talking and texting anybody, which is very healthy for you, by the way. And just listen to some music. Like enjoy shit. Don't have to be on the phone 24/7. Put the phone down.
There you go.
So there you go. But I'm not ranting yet. Let's get into something like that. Because I have a garbage person on the week.
All right.
Yay. So I sent you something right before the show to look at.
Yeah.
And it was quite embarrassing. And it wasn't anything that I did. It was just the garbage person of the week video that I wanted to share with Darren before the show. And some of you who watch TMZ and stuff probably heard about this. And as you probably see in our promo picture, celebrity boxing. Celebrity boxing. Why are we talking about it? Well, my garbage person of the week is part of celebrity boxing. So, some of you know the angry bagel guy, Chris Morgan, whoever the fuck that is. Well, you know him. And he was supposed to have a celebrity boxing match with Screech from Saved by the Bell. Which, whatever, nobody watches this shit, but I thought it was pretty interesting since he backed out. Well, Chris Morgan, you get to fight Screech. Don't be a dummy. Just go do it. You have nothing else to do with your life. Go fight Screech. They're probably paying you like $20 or whatever. Go get the money. Do it. No, he backs out. So we get to see Screech fight Matt Wolf, whatever the fuck Matt Wolf was. Whatever the hell his job is, celebrity. Do basically a WCW. This is for the wrestling fans. A WCW Kevin Nash Hulk Hogan finger punch match, and the video's online.
No. Was it Kevin Nash?
It was Kevin Nash, yeah.
That's
So
right.
for those wrestling fans or non-wrestling fans that don't know what happened in the wrestling is when Kevin Nash was the champion, Hulk Hogan came out to fight him, touched him with his finger. Kevin Nash fell down and lost the title. Yeah, that's called a screw job.
He threw the fight.
He threw the fight, and this is kind of what happened because this was supposed to be Matt Wolf stepping in for the bagel guy Chris Morgan to fight because this dude backed out last minute.
And if you see the video, it's done in some barn in Hollywood where there's no people and there's a whole bunch of people promoting it instead of actually watching it.
It looked like a bar mitzvah hall.
Right?
You know?
Yeah, it looked ridiculous. There's like nobody there, and then a bunch of celebrities. Well, so I'm using that very loosely because I don't think Screech is a celebrity.
D-list celebrities.
Oh no, we're like F.
F. Okay,
F. Oh yeah, we're going down the alphabet. And this was so ridiculous. And if you watch the video, like he taps him.
Yeah.
He taps him. The guy goes down like he just got knocked out by Mike Tyson.
He swung. He gave him a hook, and plus they're both wearing headgear.
He tapped him. There was no strength behind that punch.
No.
Tapped him. The guy went down like Tyson just hit him. In the heavyweight bout, just like bouncing all over the mat like he's in shock. Got a concussion. He's out. No. What fucking ridiculous shit is this? If I paid $5.99 to go into this thing, or whatever it costs to actually get into this nonsense, I'd jump in that ring and start punching everybody in the face myself. Way more entertaining. What the hell is this shit? You can check this out on YouTube. So Garbage Person of the Week goes to all of these people involved because this fucking nonsense is happening out there. Not even entertaining.
And I love it. I love it at the end that people are throwing like beer at Dustin Diamond. They're throwing like.
Was he trying to catch it? Because I know he's not really doing well in his celebrity status.
I know he needs some money.
A job.
Exactly.
Somebody hire Screech to do something.
You know what?
I know they're reviving Saved by the Bell.
Yeah,
give him a job.
Exactly. Like let him be a consultant on the show, or at least work in catering. Maybe.
Yeah, have him in the background. Oh, Screech is here. Great. Next.
Yeah.
Have him in the background.
Obviously, the show that they're reviving on their new NBC streaming platform that they're doing. Like the AC Slaters of the world and the Jesse Spanos, and I don't know about Zach Morris because he's in another show right now, but he might pop back. But you got to have Screech in some capacity.
Yeah, you gotta have the cast. It only makes sense. And Zach Morris has to make an appearance. I heard a stupid rumor about that he's the governor of California now or some shit in the show, which is stupid because the kid was dumb. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see when it comes out. I'm sure we'll talk about it because, this is what we do on the ADG podcast.
Talk about
shit like this.
Talk about stupid shit.
Official celebrityboxing.com where this nonsense is. But I'm not promoting this stupid shit. Go on YouTube, see this video. Laugh at it, thumbs down this bullshit, and there you go.
There we go.
That's all I had for that.
And scene.
Right? More than they did.
I think I saw more action in a drunk girl bar fight than in this fight.
There you go. All right, so that's it for episode 6.
6, yeah. There you go.
Good stuff. Yeah. So if you want to check us out, we're everywhere on all social media at ADG Podcast. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter is blowing up over there. iHeartRadio, iTunes, everywhere you listen to a podcast, any podcast streaming app, we'll have the ADG Podcast. So check us out everywhere. Check out our music. Go and like and share all that stuff. That'll be great. Anything you guys want to talk about, let us know. Any show ideas. We're still waiting on a few guests for the show. We have some feelers out there, so there might be some surprises still in the second season. You guys should be expecting, but we'll get to that.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all we got for today's show. So, for the ADG Podcast, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Darren.
And we are ADG.